The ancient world remembers Sparta as a titan, a formidable city-state forged in the crucible of military discipline and unyielding secrecy. But beneath the famed hoplite phalanx and the austere Lycurgan laws lies a whisper of an even greater enigma. Could this formidable power have been the cradle of the world's very first sophisticated cipher? A communication system so advanced it has eluded historians for millennia. Welcome to Echoes of Time, your portal to the forgotten pages of history, where we delve into the past to unearth the stories that never quite made it into the history books. Today, we journey into the heart of ancient Sparta, not to the clang of swords, but to the silent, intricate world of covert communication, searching for a lost code whose echoes resonate through the ages. For centuries, the Spartan reputation for absolute discretion was legendary, extending its reach deeply into their wartime communications, their diplomatic maneuverings, and their internal governance. This was a society where control of information was as vital as control of territory, where secrecy was not merely a tactic, but an ingrained philosophy. The very fabric of their existence, from their militaristic training to their political structure, was steeped in a culture of guarded knowledge. Yet, when the subject of Spartan cryptography arises, one invention invariably comes to mind: the famed Scytale. This simple cylindrical staff, wrapped with a strip of leather or parchment, upon which a message was written, then unwrapped for transport, with the recipient possessing an identical staff to reconstruct the message, is often cited as Sparta's singular defining contribution to early cryptography. It was a brilliant, elegant solution for its time, relying on transposition to render a message unintelligible to anyone without the correctly sized cylinder. But was it truly the sum total of Spartan ingenuity in the realm of secret communication? Academic discourse, in its focus on tangible artifacts and clear-cut methodologies, frequently overlooks the deeper implications of Sparta's strategic needs. While the Scytale offered a rudimentary level of security for battlefield dispatches, the demands of a powerful, secretive state like Sparta surely extended far beyond mere ribbon wrapping. Consider the intricate web of power within the Gerousia, the Council of Elders, or among the Ephors, the annually elected overseers who held immense authority. Maintaining internal political stability, navigating the treacherous waters of ancient diplomacy, and conducting effective espionage against rival city-states would have required a level of informational control far more complex and nuanced than a single, easily understood device. The stakes were too high for anything less than absolute certainty in protecting their most critical intelligence. This leads us to a profound question. Were there unwritten protocols, sophisticated oral codes, or perhaps even lost physical artifacts, hinting at a more complex system than the simple Scytale? The very nature of Spartan society, with its emphasis on brevity, discipline, and a deep-seated distrust of outward extravagance, suggests a preference for systems that were efficient, robust, and, above all, covert. Ancient texts, though often biased, incomplete, and filtered through the perspectives of rival cultures like Athens, nonetheless offer tantalizing but fragmented clues. These scattered references, when reinterpreted through a lens of modern understanding of cryptography and statecraft, hint at a level of informational control far beyond what we commonly attribute to their era. They suggest a society that understood the power of secrets, not just in battle, but in the subtle, pervasive control of narratives, alliances, and even the minds of its own citizens. To truly unearth Sparta's lost code, we must journey beyond the conventional narratives and entertain several intriguing hypotheses that emerge from the shadows of history. Each offers a different perspective on the true nature of Spartan secrecy, pushing the boundaries of what we believe possible for the ancient world.
One compelling perspective suggests that the Scytale, for all its fame, was merely the tip of an iceberg, a publicly acknowledged method designed perhaps to mislead or to serve only the most basic of needs. This theory posits that beneath this visible surface lay far more intricate, perhaps even polyalphabetic ciphers used exclusively by the highest echelons of power.
Imagine a system where letters were not merely shifted or transposed, but replaced by different symbols depending on their position in the message, or even by a constantly changing key known only to a select few. Such a cipher would have represented an astonishing leap in ancient cryptographic technology, requiring a level of abstract thought and systematic application that challenges our preconceptions of classical antiquity. It implies a dedicated class of cryptographers, a secret branch of Spartan intellect devoted to encoding and decoding messages that held the fate of the city-state in their encrypted folds. The secrecy surrounding such a system would have been absolute, its existence guarded even from many within Sparta itself, ensuring its impenetrability. If such ciphers existed, they would have been fiercely protected, their mechanisms passed down with the utmost caution, explaining why no definitive evidence of them has ever been unearthed. The deliberate lack of record, in fact, could be the strongest clue to their existence, a secret so profound it left no discernible trace.
Another theory posits that Sparta's true code was not a written cipher at all, but an intensely guarded oral tradition. In a society that valued laconic speech and terse communication, where words were weighted with meaning, such a system would have been perfectly aligned with their cultural ethos. This oral code would have been passed down through generations of the elite, employing linguistic nuances, specific inflections, and pre-agreed double meanings that would render ordinary conversations into hidden directives for the initiated. Consider the power of a phrase that to an outsider sounded like a casual remark about the weather or a philosophical musing, but to a Spartan leader or agent conveyed precise strategic instructions or vital intelligence. This form of code would have been utterly immune to interception in the conventional sense. There would be no physical document to capture, no encoded scroll to decipher. Its strength lay in its intangibility, its reliance on shared understanding and absolute trust among a select few.
The very act of speaking, listening, and understanding would have been an act of encryption and decryption. This deep-rooted oral tradition would not only have fostered profound loyalty among its practitioners, but also created an almost unbreakable barrier against external penetration, making it an ideal method for maintaining the absolute secrecy so vital to the Spartan way of life. A third, even more radical idea proposes that the lost code refers not to a method of message encryption, but to a philosophical or legal framework. This perspective suggests that Sparta's true code was a set of unwritten ethical and strategic principles so deeply ingrained in Spartan society that they functioned as an impenetrable societal cipher. These principles would have guided every action, every decision, every policy, ensuring uniformity and predictability in a way no mere encoded message ever could. Imagine a society where every leader, every soldier, every citizen of consequence operated under a shared, unspoken playbook of honor, duty, sacrifice, and strategic thinking. This collective mental framework would have been the ultimate cipher, translating complex situations into predictable Spartan responses. An enemy might observe their actions, but without understanding the underlying code of ethics and strategy that drove them, they would never truly grasp the logic or anticipate the next move. This societal cipher would have made Sparta not just formidable in battle, but profoundly enigmatic in diplomacy and internal governance.
It would explain their feigned resilience, their unwavering discipline, and their singular purpose, all stemming from an internal operating system that was universally understood by its members, yet invisible and indecipherable to the outside world. This code was not about hiding information, but about shaping a collective consciousness that itself functioned as an unbreachable secret. The debates rage on among historians, archaeologists, and cryptologists, fueled by the tantalizing hints found within archaeological fragments and the endless reinterpretation of classical texts.
Each theory offers a glimpse into a potential truth, a facet of Spartan ingenuity that has been obscured by the passage of time and the biases of ancient chroniclers. The challenge lies in distinguishing between academic speculation and historical probability, in piecing together fragments of evidence that were never meant to be found. The very nature of a lost code is that it leaves minimal trace, making its rediscovery an arduous, often frustrating endeavor. Yet the pursuit itself illuminates the incredible complexity of ancient societies and their sophisticated approaches to what we now call information warfare. What is becoming increasingly clear as we continue to delve into these forgotten pages of history is the very real possibility that Sparta not only mastered the brutal art of war, but also pioneered the intricate art of information warfare in ways we are only now beginning to comprehend. Their foresight, their understanding of the power of secrets, and their apparent ability to implement sophisticated systems of control, whether technological, linguistic, or philosophical, position them as far more than just a military machine. They were masters of psychological warfare, political maneuvering, and strategic deception, all underpinned by an unparalleled commitment to secrecy. The echoes of their secrets resonate through time, not as a whisper, but as a silent challenge. They compel us to reconsider the limitations we often impose on ancient civilizations, urging us to look beyond the obvious, to question the accepted narratives, and to seek the hidden truths that lie beneath the dust of centuries. In doing so, we not only unearth a deeper understanding of Sparta, but we also better understand the enduring human quest for control, communication, and the power that lies within the unspoken. What other profound secrets of the ancient world, like Sparta's lost code, still lie hidden, waiting for us to decipher their timeless echoes?